It's day 25 of designing a Pokopia Cloud Island in 30 days. Yesterday, not only did we build this train station, but we finished the second to last biome we needed to build in, all the way over there, the tropical biome. Today, we get to choose between building here in the city or maybe working on the next biome, which is the Skylands area right up here. Both of these are worthy causes, but honestly, I've been looking forward to getting back to the city area for a long time. There's so many things I still want to build. I want to fill out all of these little squares that we made, these plots of land just sitting here, prime real estate, going untapped. That is unacceptable. So today we'll see what trouble we get into. I'm thinking we start with this plot right here, and I have been considering another housing kind of thing for a while, and I think I know what I want to do. I've been considering another type of housing structure, if you will, and I think I know what I want to do with this plot. First, we'll need to do a bit of a reset though, because my inventory is absolutely in shambles, and my storage is also really, really full. So I think what we'll end up doing is starting the day with a dream island. That'll allow me to gather up some materials, but also dump some of the stuff that I don't need. Oh, that is so much better. Okay, everything you see here, plus these two block types here, I'm just gonna be throwing away. Actually, I use these other ones quite frequently. I'll keep the wooden pillar middles. Everything else is going. The island we're gonna visit today is actually a Dragonite island. There's a couple reasons for this. One is that I am kind of low on iron and stuff. I haven't really needed a whole lot, but I'm a little bit low on it. And then recently I've gotten some comments from people, maybe just one or two, maybe more, saying, oh, you really need to go to a Dragonite island. You can find Pokemetal there, and you can find iron and all this stuff. And I don't know if I mentioned in a video recently that I needed that stuff, but I feel like I got more than one comment about it. So I guess I'll go. But I have not been in peril, feeling in peril by not having these items. I've been just chronically low on stone and stuff. But hey, maybe you were right. Maybe if I open this up, we will find... Nope. Never mind. All Pokemon in this area are selected. Still no rare Pokemon. So everybody telling me to go to a Dragonite Island did not do me any favors by, helping me find a rare Pokemon. That's all right. It has been a while since I've been to one of these, and I forgot what they looked like. Something else that happened earlier is that before I started recording, I went and bought all the recipes in the PC that I hadn't bought yet. I had like 20,000 gold. Now I don't. And yeah, I still am missing some somehow. Every time I pick up a gold Pokeball or I, go into the water and look at a shimmering spot, I expect to find a new recipe, and I only ever get like Pokemetal or some other stuff. Don't spoil it for me though. I will figure out, what the last recipes are. There's still a few more things in single player I have yet to do, like just a few big, not story related things, but just big things like get every Pokemon, for example. I'm really close, but I haven't done it quite yet, and I think some cool stuff happens when you do that, but I'm planning on doing that during a live stream in the near future. Oh, I'm now remembering Dragonite Islands do not have iron and gold in them. They have Pokemetal, primarily, and Arcanine Islands have the iron and gold. Okay, if I was thinking about it, I probably would have actually gone to an Arcanine Island, just because I really need, or I will soon need, iron, and I'm very low on iron. Okay, so I have basically 3 stacks of Pokemetal now and 33 raw Pokemetal fragments, or rare rather. So that's gotta be enough, right? I think maybe the reason this came up was because I was maybe complaining about items I don't have, and there's always the 3D printer. But I do forget about the 3D printer quite frequently. I'm notorious for that. It's not a matter of not having Pokemetal. It's literally just the fact that I have a terrible memory. All right, let's bring this stuff up here and get it smelting. It looks like brick production inside there is well underway. Yeah, we got 3 Pokemon working on bricks. Charmeleon has some bricks for me. I'm gonna need maybe some Pokemetal. I don't know. I would like to get some of them on Pokemetal. Charmeleon wants to work on it, but is stuck behind Charizard. So this is great. This is going awesome. I don't think I can make it, pal. All right, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. You know what? We don't, like I said, we're not desperate for that stuff anyway. It's my fault for putting the community bin in the hallway. All right, first things first. We need to decide all the different blocks I want to use for this build that I'm thinking of. I'm thinking for the main structure, we go with a boring white wall and perhaps like a fun color for the roof, like yellow or something. I'm gonna do 200 of these plaster walls, and I'm gonna really hope I don't regret it. I also want to try some of these Pokemon Center walls for the foundations of the building. I was complaining that there's not enough foundation blocks in this game. I'm just gonna see how these look. I have no idea what I'm in for. We'll just grab our paint now because I'm sure I'm going to want to start dyeing stuff. Just as a test, let me see how this looks. I have no idea if I'm going to like it, especially this color too. We kind of might need to play around with that. It's not bad. I do think it makes for a good foundational kind of block for a building. Let's go see what color options there are. It's kind of interesting. Some colors paint the whole block and you can still see the little bit at the bottom, the little foundation part at the bottom. And then some colors, like the white one, for example, they differentiate. I think we'll try the white one because I wasn't really planning on changing the color of the plaster blocks. Then again, will that look a bit odd if I don't change the color of the plaster blocks? Let's try brown. I don't know. I do want to try and find a way to make these work. And you know what? Smeargle is going to have to come with me today. Okay, what do we think of this combination here? Yeah, I do think it kind of works. I think that's kind of nice. I'm going to need other accent blocks, but for what I'm trying to do, I think this will work. All right, what we're making today is going to require a little more space than this. So we're going to need to bring it out to the very edge of the gravel and hope that's enough. I mean, we did go out and get a bunch of Pokemetal, so we'll go ahead and make our Pokemon Center walls, get them painted, and let's go around the edges like this. So we're starting with a nice big box. And yes, I can already tell you this is not enough space at all. But we're gonna try to make this work. So we are making, essentially, motel-style apartments. I'm not going to tell you who they're for just yet, but that's the idea. So I've been seeing like some different pictures, looking at, you know, different bits of town and city architecture, and I think this would kind of be cool for a specific type of Pokemon, but we'll get there in a minute. I'm going to see if we can like ensconce all of this into livable, somewhat livable units. So the shape would be like this. And I'm already gonna just go ahead and say, like, this is not big enough. Okay, new plan. Let's face it. I don't know what else to put in like these other two plots. Okay, so we're gonna go with we're gonna go in a different direction. These two plots are the same size. We're gonna come all the way across like this. We're gonna try to maintain our gravel border across all the paths. And we're going to go back like this. And we're going to make that kind of U shape we had before, but across two lots. So this is what we're looking at so far. And it's kind of giving me the shape I want. I may go ahead and bring it in just a couple more blocks. Okay, this is a bit better. I want to know what would happen if I brought this wall out by one. Okay, this seems a bit more livable for like sectioning it off into different little units. I think I'm gonna need to remove these street lights, maybe just temporarily, maybe forever, because in order for it to be a complete motel build, we need a swimming pool in the middle. And this right here is definitely the balance. We want a pool that's big enough to, you know, be befitting of our motel, but we also need space to house Pokemon. I think we're going to make it a little bit smaller, but I'd say that's pretty good. What I want to do is get the full exterior structure done next. So I need to decide what I want on the corners of this building to, you know, give it that finished look that I like to do on all my buildings. And fortunately for us, the Pokemon Center wall has a middle section, which means we can definitely make our corners and we can make them the same color as the foundation block. Or not. Oh no! That's brown? Okay, let's listen. Trust the process. What does it look like when you put them down together? Do they do any... No, they don't connect in any fancy kind of way. All right, well, trust the process. For this build, we're going to go 2 stories. So I need to make sure I kind of select the right amount of blocks between each layer. This honestly feels a bit too tall. But then again, I might want to do that thing where I double layer the floor. You know what? Trust the process. Okay, that's what 1 story would look like, and it's already pretty impressive. I do like this. But let's try to go up another story and see if it continues to look good. Okay, just a couple blocks left. I might need to make some more, though, because I have some other ideas. This is... Yeah, I think size-wise, this is what I want. Everything we do in the city does need to be kind of, you know, large and in charge. So this is good. I wasn't anticipating filling 2 plots today, but I'm really excited that this is working out. Next, we need to see if we like the plaster wall. I'm nervous about this. I hope it works out well. So here's what we're gonna do. We need to select the size of all the different units, and I don't want there to be like windows that are too large. I'm kind of thinking what we do is just to kind of get an idea for how the plaster feels with the blocks we've chosen. Do we try that? It doesn't look bad. I think this could grow on me. Of course, there is a chance I do on this building what I did over here, where I take these little roof bits, we change the colors of them, and we kind of put them around like this. I think that added quite a nice touch to the building, so I may go around and do that. But in the interim, this is probably what I'm going for. Of course, before I can put up all these different walls, I need to decide how large each unit is. Because we have 2 stories to work with, we should be able to make these quite big. You might be thinking, well, I mean, how many Pokemon are you hoping to house here? Well, let me show you. I've been trying to find a way to get all the different evolutions to live together under one roof, but also make them very happy. So we have all 8 evolutions here, and we need Eevee as well. That'll be 9. So not an even number of Pokemon, but we'll probably have an even number of units, and that's okay. Actually, how do you get Eevee? Let's see. Oh, it's just the pretty flower bed? That's it? Okay, well, we could just move Pidgey somewhere else. There's a lot of Pokemon that can spawn with this particular habitat. It'd probably be wise to make more of them. But while we work today, I'm going to try to get Eevee. Okay, so at bare minimum, 9 rooms. Let's aim for 10 rooms, maybe? Here's what we're going to do, though, to make this even better. I'm going to get rid of these walls right here. We're going to seal this off like this, but we're going to keep the bit at the top like that. So that means we'll need more of these pillars like that. They'll go up. But yeah, what that's going to do is allow people to walk out here as well. I thought keeping the path would be really cool. And yes, you'll have to walk around the pool if you're, you know, coming in from outside the walls of the motel and you want to continue on your journey this way, but that's okay. So what that means is we can fit maybe 4 units down here. Oh my gosh, and that would mean we'd have enough room for 5 units up here, and that would be 9. Let's maybe use these foundation blocks to separate the rooms. We'll try that first. And that way we end up with 1 long room and 1 not as long room, but it's a wider room. Yeah, 1 wide room, 1 long room. And then what would happen if we started to add our plaster? From the outside, I want the building to look like it has, you know, a symmetrical, kind of even amount of windows. So if we did that, we get 2 windows on the outside of the building here, and we'd kind of hide the room separator not being even in here. Then we could put our dividing wall there. I think the entrance to each room needs to be carved out now. So what we can do is maybe put it here. We can add like a little window on this one like that. So we'll have a door, a window. This one will just have a door. I guess that means we can get rid of these blocks here. They're not really like serving any aesthetic purpose, and I kind of need more of these anyway. Okay, yeah. So this does work. One thing I'm failing to account for is how do you get up to the next floor? I've been giving it some thought. I might end up ruining my little path walkthrough area here if I do this, but I gotta put them somewhere. I need a staircase, but I also need room to walk around this pool. If I do a comfortably like double wide kind of staircase like this, both going up and leading to like a platform, and then they go up again, it does make it really difficult to use this path. We could just do one side maybe like this. We could take some of this great flooring and put it like this. And if we do something like this, it does reach. Gosh, it looks bad. And it's not doing it the right way. Okay. If I wanted some kind of like little rooftop balcony thing where you walk across, well, I guess I'd have to hang it over the pool a little bit, which is actually what I'd want to do anyway, because that's kind of how these motel builds typically work. But yeah, getting the stairs to be 2 stairs wide and then have it come up here nice and clean, this is a challenge. Okay, that works. It's a bit janky, but it works. I don't hit my head on it. And yeah, if we make a little balcony out here, we can definitely do it. Our options for balcony blocks or panels would be the bridge planks, the grate flooring, and the concrete slab. Because of what I'm building out of, the materials I'm using, I'm going to go concrete slab. I'm trying to decide the orientation because these aren't really meant to be used this way. They're meant to go over like water, I think. So let's see. What if I made it like this? Yeah, that's probably better. Let's go get our feather real quick. Now we're going to hope we can make this work with fences on them. I might have to get rid of these little beams in the middle. But yeah, I don't want to make them come out 3 blocks. That would be a little too much given how much room we really have here. But yeah, okay. Now that we have a little more infrastructure, we can actually start planning rooms. We did lose a room in the middle thanks to the staircase, so that's fun. Unless I get clever, we're back to having 8 rooms, or I can chop these up even more and make, you know, more rooms. Let's decide what kind of blocks we want for the floor in each room. I want to try the crisscross wooden floor, but I want to see what colors it comes in if I kind of change things up. Ooh, the brown lightens it in a nice way. The white is kind of cool. I really like the gray a lot. Of course I would, but you know how I am with eating into all the white and black paint. Let's just go with the brown. It lightens it up in a nice way, and I only have 10 right now just to try it. Let's take it for a spin, and that was it. I only made 10, but yeah. Yeah, I like that. So we have it downstairs. I'm going to start putting it upstairs as well, which is going to make things a lot easier to work with up here. Thing is now I'm kind of running low on blocks, so I need to decide if I am going to indeed put those little accents in between each floor like I did on my building here. Let me see if I have any extra. The problem with them is that the colors palette is different. Like if I dye them brown, for example, I'm just gonna get a different brown. This protruding wall here is from a different project. We can at least kind of start to see how it looks though. Okay, so that's what this looks like. And I do think the bottom half being white makes sense because the plaster. The top half being brown feels like it's probably gonna be too similar to that building over there. We could go gray, like more neutral, because we have like the gray concrete path now in front of all the different motel rooms. Or this kind of bluish gray also works, but I'm already using that. Let's try this on 10 of them and just see how we like it. Okay, and then if I go ahead and put these walls like that, I don't know. I'm kind of tempted to try brown. The lighting right now is not helping. They both halves look gray, which is not what I did. Let's just try the brown. Maybe we'll like it. Okay, so yeah, it is 2 different shades of brown. I already knew that. It's just, do we like that they're 2 different shades of brown? Kinda, I think I like it. It's just that my building looks so much better for some reason. I've made quite the commitment with these Pokemon Center walls at this point. I've used a lot of Pokemetal to make them, so I don't want to get rid of them. But I do think it's just, I'm just working with a very interesting color palette. You know what? I'm gonna go with it. Maybe it's because I've been staring at it too long. I don't know. I might be getting impatient. It might be growing on me. We're just going to do it. Now, by trading those blocks out, I now have more blocks to play with to try to get this whole area, you know, a little more walkable. Ooh, my head almost hits the top of that. Okay, so yeah, I cannot make this come out anymore. The idea, though, was to actually put them over here and try to get us our rooms sectioned off so we can work with this place finally. You know what this game needs to add is a recycler. Like if I could throw all these blocks in a recycler and get even half of my Pokemetal back, I would take it. Okay, let's put in our protruding walls. I've decided I'm gonna keep the Pokemetal walls, the Poke Center walls in the middle on the top and bottom there. I might change my mind on that. We'll see, but I figure, I don't know, it kind of makes the building more dynamic maybe. Okay, hard to tell how it's going to look once we have the finished product all said and done, but this is looking better, I think. I'm gonna try square windows in these units here on the side. I think that's okay. Floor to ceiling isn't bad though. I mean, I already need more salads. Oh my gosh. We could do it. We could definitely afford to do it. I mean, floor to ceiling doesn't look too bad. It makes the experience feel way more luxury, right? Saves us some plaster too, which is never a bad thing. We will need a pretty big wall right here just to kind of like hide the staircase. There's no unit back there. It's just gonna be a wall. Maybe we add our pillars in between these actually, like this. And if we're doing that, we may as well get rid of the, you know, bits of roof in the middle and put these back. Okay, yeah, that's a little better. Then we can go back to putting our flooring in, breaking up our rooms. Almost had enough blocks died, but there we go. Okay, the floors are mostly done. We'll come back to those. Let's go ahead and figure out what we want to do for the back of the building and the windows and things like that. We could do something like this, although that is a, you know, that's some pretty big blank canvases sitting there. Let's move the windows in a little more. Okay, yeah, I think I like that. I'm looking forward to seeing these with glass in them. I think they'll look a lot better. Somehow I ran out of plaster blocks. I really hope I have enough shells to finish this. Okay, here's where things get a little bit wacky. I need my guests to be able to walk here, and I need to put a fence here, and that's too narrow. So I need to get rid of these posts and kind of move them back. Structurally, this doesn't make any sense. I think this would cause some problems. I think the architect would be getting called to the principal's office. But in terms of how this build's gonna look from the outside, you know what? I think this is the right call. Oh yeah, actually, wait. No, this has to move back even more. It has to come back here. Yeah, this is not a load-bearing pillar. Oh my gosh. Look, this is exactly what happened over there when I tried to make that window. I don't know what I'm doing, okay? This is what happens when you don't pay attention to math class. Okay, so these little tiles represent the doors, by the way. Let's just see what this looks like when we start putting up walls. Notice how the door sits back now a little bit, and there's room to walk. However, the front of the building, something's off. Something's off about this too. What would happen if we did this? Nothing good. Nothing good. Yeah, no. Nope, this doesn't work. See, symmetry is about commitment, okay? And you have to commit fully to it. Okay, I think this is gonna work. So that was all of the plaster I have in the world. All of the seashells I have in the world, I should say. I have 8 blocks of plaster left. Hoping I didn't miss a spot. Oh, see, I missed this spot. So we can just get rid of this pillar here. But the exterior is done. Still not sure I'm going to keep these blocks up here or not. I do like that I'm getting some use out of them because I spent a lot on them. However, you know, the building's aesthetics come first. Let's get our doorways done though. And you know what we need to do here is we need to kind of put some blocks up here to block off the staircase from the rest of the world if we're going to keep this path here, which I think we will. We need a roof, but that's just going to be stone blocks. I say we move on to doors and windows. And for this one, I think there's no better choice than the boat doors. I'm realizing too, if I'm willing to have lower ceilings on the top floor, meaning I get rid of the floor to ceiling windows, I can do the sunken in roof like I normally do. But that would mean all of these rooms are only 2 blocks high, and that feels really cramped. I said I was gonna do the roof later, but now I just wanna see how it feels to put the roof like this. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Pokemon Legends ZA. We're gonna keep it this way. We'll use the wooden windows for this one. We have a lot of brown accents on this building, so it kind of makes sense. And then, yeah, boat doors for sure. These have the best kind of like aesthetic for, you know, hotels, things like that. And as I'm putting these in here, all of these rooms are turning into habitats because I've actually like finished the borders around them. Oh gosh, I didn't even realize that these blocks can't be here. Dang it. Okay, in terms of our windows and doors, yeah, I think this is giving us the vibes we want. Oh no, I'm missing a wall here. Oh shoot. Okay, we're gonna need to go on a seashell run. Let's keep working on windows though. And yeah, I'm still debating, and now that I have to go on a seashell run, I'm still debating covering up the top of, you know, the windows here instead of making them 3 tall. And that is because, again, I like to make the floors double thickness, and it's easier to hide power when you do that. However, with this particular building, I have a lot of walls and floors intersecting thanks to it being 2 floors. And I can hide power in between the walls and stuff. I'd have to like show you. Basically, if I remove this block here, I could put power right here and no one will ever know. So to save on plaster, yeah, we're gonna keep the nice tall windows. All right, we're down to our finishing touches. Since we kind of have no choice now, we need to go ahead and make more of these little concrete slabs to finish off our balcony. Okay, so this balcony hangs over our pool more than I wanted, but not much more. It's okay. And I only made 10 of them, but I wanted to see how boat railing would look as the fence around this thing. Boat door, boat railing, you know, and I think it has motel vibes. I actually like that a lot. Okay, that's feeling a lot more complete. You know what though? The roof is not. I have to put these things across the top here. I don't think there's any way around it, which means I get to make more, but we can just kind of see how it looks. And they intersect with each other pretty nicely. Yeah, that's the right call. I almost sent Smeargle home for the day. Almost. I'm glad I didn't. I'm actually not super sold on this, by the way, like breaking them up like this. I thought I would like it. The more I come over here and look at it, the more I do not like it. Yeah, that looks better. In fact, I'm kind of tempted to open this up and then put some boat railing right here, but I don't know. I'll come back to that maybe. Okay, that is looking better. We'll get our stone blocks placed. We're gonna have to make more. All right, our Eevee Motel is basically done. Just, you know, a few other little things to do. We should probably get a pool, you know, going. And for that, we're going to need to put some stone around it, stone underneath it. Of course, the issue I'm having now is that it's just way too close to the path, which is unfortunate. Let's experiment with the path a little bit just to try and get this looking, I don't know, somewhat good. Nothing's stopping me from just putting road all the way around it, but I don't love that. We could put this kind of like fancy stone around it, and now it definitely feels more pool-like to me. We're gonna need to place down all of the little borders on the path here just to try and figure out, you know, how this is all supposed to look in the end. Oh, I'm not putting them on the right spot either. But I think these will help separate the pool from the path, but they're already supposed to separate the path from the path. So I gotta get them all placed down. So if we line the path like this, like we've been doing, then we got to decide, do we want to also line the pool with the same exact blocks, right? Or path border, if you will. So if I do, if I do just a corner and we kind of, you know, just try and like line the pool like this, or 2 corners there, I think that looks pretty good. And it does separate all the path from everything else. Yeah, okay, this works. Given where the staircase is and everything, this is more crammed than I wanted it to be, but we're working within some, you know, some confines here, and I think this is okay. Logistically speaking, the most important part is, can the Pokemon who live in these units get into the doors of their homes? I believe the answer is yes. I guess for now, I'm gonna throw gravel back here. I don't know if this is exactly how I want it to look forever, but for the path right here, I don't have any better ideas at the moment, so I'll just go with that. There's only one thing left to do, and that's to give them a nice saltwater pool. Wait, is this Evie? Come on, come on, come on. Yes! I don't know where you're gonna live. I did not plan this very well, but, you know, we have Evie now. I suppose they'll have to bunk with one of the other evolutions, or I could start breaking up those apartments more, but I don't want to. I honestly should try and cram as many Pokemon as I can into each room. So Leafeon would get other grass types living there and so forth. But all in all, this building is for the evolutions at the end of the day. Look at that. See, that is luxury right there. Well, believe it or not, that took like 3 hours. So I'm going to call it there. But tomorrow we'll work on perhaps another plot. That video's on screen now if it's ready, so go ahead and watch it, and I'll see you over there.